Try to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time.
From Mac Miller and Pimp C. Pimp C was found in the hotel in praying position with a bunch of blood around the bed, candles and so forth, right? That he was already dead for like a day or so, right? Also remember, he was in praying position. This is how they mock God. This is how they mock our God.
He needed to be tested for arsenic and poisoning. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't tested for that. And the coroner told us, you know what I'm saying? He bled out when he died. So from every opening on his body. So that's from nose, mouth, ears, eyes. You know what I'm saying? In every hole on your body that you could, he bled out. That's not natural.
It's no secret that the entertainment industry, while filled with a lot of good things, can also be considered a festival of some of the worst controversies. And in today's episode, the controversy in question is tied to Pimp C and Jay-Z. According to reports, it seems Pimp C might have gone in over his head after claims of him having a sex tape with Beyonce started to make the headlines, because Jay didn't like that very much. And unlike a regular person that just confronts his problem, Jay, a former gang member, simply put a hit out on Pimp C. Didn't see that coming, huh? Well, brace yourself because that's only where it starts in this controversy. The late Pimp C was the American rapper and music producer whose sudden and mysterious death stirred up considerable media attention. He was discovered deceased in a hotel room in December 2007, leaving behind numerous unanswered questions about the actual cause of his passing. His untimely demise also sparked several conspiracy theories. Nevertheless, according to medical records, his death was attributed to a drug overdose. A coroner's report identified complications caused by his heavy consumption of purple drank and his pre-existing sleep apnea condition as the reasons behind his death. Subsequently, it was revealed that his blood tests demonstrated toxic levels of codeine in his system. Too Short, a fellow rapper and a close friend of Pimp C, who was apparently the last person to have contact with him before his passing, made some intriguing remarks about his death.
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't.
For those unfamiliar, codeine is an opioid. Opioids are analgesics that depress the central nervous system, decrease the respiratory rate, and cause cessation of breathing when taken in toxic doses. In simpler terms, according to medical records, Pimp C was a drug addict who overdosed on pain medication, causing him to lose consciousness and ultimately pass away. The items retrieved from the location of his death, which included pill bottles, powder, and alcohol, were used as evidence to support the subsequent reports. However, there is a reasonable possibility that all of these items were planted and Pimp C was framed to make it look like his death was an accident. None of his colleagues or coworkers have confirmed his alcohol addiction or drug abuse. Additionally, he has never demonstrated misconduct or inebriated behavior in the media. His associate, Orlando Brown, commented on this matter, stating,
"That side, he never did lean around me. Listen, Chad only did, red wine, a cup of red wine like twice.
Really?
Yeah, so that whole..."
These statements clearly suggest that the evidence was fraudulent and possibly tampered with to deflect authorities' attention from the attempted murder. Many individuals believe that Pimp C's supposed accidental death was too seamless to be authentic. David Banner, a fellow rapper who was apparently well acquainted with Pimp C, stated that the music industry was aware of certain issues concerning Pimp C but refused to address them publicly. He said, "The one truth about the music industry is that Pimp C had some stuff that everybody knew but nobody was talking about. The stuff he referred to will be revealed later in the video." The public regarded Pimp C's death as a murder. One person commented, "Pimp had a lot of hidden enemies and they wanted him gone. I miss Pimp SMH." Regarding enemies, we previously mentioned Jay-Z as being at the top of the list. What possible dispute could have resulted in one of the two being murdered?
Who it is, but it's a real famous rapper and it's a real famous R&B chick.
Okay. Yeah.
Pimp had he had a recording of them.
Pimp and Ken, another noteworthy figure from the music industry, speaks in riddles in the video, revealing shocking details about Pimp C's conflict with Jay-Z, including Pimp C's passionate involvement with Beyonce while she was still married to Jay-Z. Moreover, the tension between the two men stems from Pimp C possessing a private video of himself and Beyonce engaged in intimate activities. To clarify, we're talking about a sex tape. Ken went on to say that Pimp C could have made a lot of money had he been selfish enough to release the tape, a tape that could potentially topple the careers of some of the top rappers and music artists in America today. While it may not have affected Jay-Z as much, it does make for an intriguing drama that we adore. In addition, Jay-Z and Pimp C had a pre-existing dispute over professional disparities. In 1999, both men had planned to collaborate on a musical project that Pimp C was not enthusiastic about. Too Short explained that Tupac was the reason they almost couldn't come to an agreement. Turns out, only logic for not wanting to be on that song was all about Tupac. He said,
But he said, I'm not fucking with nobody that did f*** with you.
He went on to add that he pressured Pimp C into agreeing by saying, just do it, man. Do it, do it, do it. People came out in appreciation of Pimp's stance as soon as Too Short's interview hit the fan. One of them said, hearing all the stories about Pimp C's stubbornness and hesitation towards Big Pimpin' makes me love him even more for some reason. There will never be another. To anyone, that specifically implies issues had been going on under the table for some time now, and somehow they finally came to rest at Pimp's death. But that is just one possibility. The other possibility is even worse. Pimp C was found in a queer state at the site of death. His friends that went to his hotel room told his wife there was blood all over the room and he was in some kind of kneeling position or praying position. Wasn't a lean overdose, he was murdered, said someone. A different statement came. In an interview, DJ Paul said they found Pimp in a praying position, candles around the bed, and blood. Fast forward, Mac Miller found dead in a praying position as well. They both got ruled overdose after a night with a lady escort or booty call. The condition of Pimp C's body at his funeral shocked those who were in attendance. Despite being in a class rapper, only a select few were allowed to view his remains. Additionally, the state of his body was disturbing and resembled something out of a horror movie, as reported by Too Short. He also mentioned that the casket was unusually heavy, which raises further questions about the circumstances surrounding his death.
Pimp C head was this big.
Stop it, man.
Are you serious? Man, it was this big, dog. I mean, you know.
He was darker too.
Hey,
he was darker.
His lips would look like plastic.
These details suggest that there may be more to the story than what has been publicly disclosed. There are rumors circulating that Pimp C was in the process of exposing a cult, which may have ultimately led to his death. As one person put it, he stirred up a lot of controversy with his Ozone interview calling out homosexual executives, fake rappers, and even dissed the whole state of Atlanta. He did not always hold inconsistent views on these matters. However, his perspective changed after he was released from prison for assaulting a female. Too Short, while reminiscing the time his body was recovered, said,
Door was locked and I just had to break it down, because if the door wasn't locked, that means somebody left out.
Right.
If the door was locked, that means he felt good, he locked it, he was in there.
Right.
There are also claims that Pimp C's death was a form of sacrifice. Too Short, reflecting on the recovery of Pimp C's body, mentioned that the locked door raises new questions. It suggests that his death may not have been forced upon him. The door was secured without any signs of forced entry. This could mean that Pimp C was a willing participant, or he was too impaired to resist, or the possible culprit escaped through the window. The third possibility, upon closer examination, implies that the likely killer had meticulously planned and executed the murder. This level of precision could only come from a fierce competitor who is intolerant of your success or position in the industry. Pimp C and Jay-Z's turbulent relationship was previously discussed by Jeff Sledge, Atlantic Records VP of A&R, who talked about Pimp C's perspective on Jay-Z after a disagreement on a music video.
I only gave him 12 bars. I ain't gave him 16, man.
The infamous private video of Pimp C and Jay-Z's wife is a topic that cannot be ignored. Its release would not only ruin Jay-Z's career but also put his wife's reputation at risk. Jay-Z has worked too hard to let that happen. Based on the motive of competition, the risk to his career, and pre-existing professional differences, Jay-Z is the primary suspect in Pimp C's murder. The cause of Pimp C's death remains a mystery, whether it was an overdose, a sacrifice involving cults, or a hit orchestrated by Jay-Z. Regardless, the topic continues to circulate on social media and capture our attention. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.